Go ahead and open up the file called roadmonumentvalley.jpg. The first thing that you want to do is you always want to check the image's color mode when you first open an image. And the way that you do this is you go to Image Mode. It's right here. This information is helpful because it tells you if the image is set up for print, which would be if it was set up as CMYK color, or if it's set up color mode for RGB, which is red, green, and blue, which is proper for web and screen color. So this image is set up in RGB color. When you're converting an image to CMYK, you'll notice that an alert is going to pop up that says that you are going to convert to CMYK. Just always go ahead and select OK, like you're fine with this information. So click OK, and you've just converted your image to CMYK. You might not know that, but if you want to double check, again, you can go up to Image Mode, and you can see now the checkbox is next to CMYK. The next thing I want you to notice is to convert something to grayscale. Before we convert to grayscale, I want you to look in the bottom of your screen, and you'll see this little word that says dock 35 megs. So bottom left side of your screen is a quick read on how large your image file is. So right now this image is about 35 megs, which is quite large. And it makes sense because CMYK is a really complicated color mix. There's lots of colors in here, which makes a big file. What we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and convert this to grayscale. A true grayscale, not just a filter that makes the color image look like a grayscale image, but a true grayscale image, or we get rid of all the color. But keep in mind, this is a 35 meg 4-color picture right now, and now we're going to take all the color out and see what happens to our image size. So go Image Mode, and we're going to go to Grayscale. So we're removing the color content from this image. Discard color information. Yep, we're going to get rid of it. Now I want you to peek down to the bottom left of your screen now and look, after we removed all the color information, our image size has decreased a lot. Our image is now down to about 8.8 megs. So that's really made the image quite a bit smaller. All right, so that's converting to grayscale. So let's go ahead and revert. Oh wait, before I do that, so this image is truly black and white or grayscale. So if you were to try to paint with color right now, if I were to grab my paintbrush and try to pick like a nice green and think I was going to paint with green on this picture, I'm going to make my brush a little bigger. There's no way. You can't paint with color on a grayscale picture. Why? Because there's no color. However, you can convert a grayscale picture back to color to use color on it. So I'm going to go back to Image Mode. Let's go back to RGB. Still looks great because we removed the color. However, now when I go to the color picker and pick a nice color, I'm able to draw in color on this image, this grayscale image. Also take note really quickly down in the corner, our image has gone from 8 megs back up to 26. So we've added the color back in, and now we have access to it. So that's kind of a quick breakdown between RGB to CMYK and to grayscale. Let's go ahead and do a quick revert back to our original. Go ahead and do File, Revert. So we're back to our Image Mode RGB original, about 26 megabyte image. So there's a way to convert an image to black and white and keep it color. So it's not removing all the color information, but it looks black and white. And a way that you can do this is Image, Adjustments, and you can go to black and white. And when I do this nice little panel comes up. My image is still color. You can play with the reds. So this is going to be like the tones of your picture, even though it's still an RGB picture, but you can play with the different tones and adjust that. and click OK. Or, of course, I'm going to undo that. You can also add a black and white adjustment layer and do it this way too. And same thing, you've got the properties panel. However, in this way of converting it to a black and white picture, you just have this adjustment layer in your layers panel. And then it's kind of fun because you're able to click on, of course, the mask, and you can paint with black and have little parts peek through. Like if I wanted this yellow line just to peek through, I could do that. And you see my mask thumbnail. So that is all of the options for adjusting color mode. But just remember, if you want a true grayscale image, you have to choose the actual image mode grayscale. But if you want to make it look or appear like a grayscale image, even though it's still in a color mode, you can either add a black and white adjustment layer, or you can add an adjustment up under image adjustments and actually apply it to the layer. So that's a quick tutorial on color modes.